All right. Welcome back to another episode of Teacher Nerds. I'm Ron Nober.
I'm Joe DiPaolo.
I teach 3rd grade to 8th grade technology.
And I teach 3rd grade.
All right. So, Teacher Nerds, Joe, why don't we, for people who don't know, what do we do in Teacher Nerds podcast?
Well, Ron, I think we try and bring new ways of teaching into the classroom and try and highlight things that we've used, things we liked, and things we feel really make a difference when it comes to students and their learning.
Wow, well said. Yeah.
Cool. Right off the spot, too.
All right, yeah. Today we're going to talk about WeVideo. But before we get to WeVideo, Joe, you know what time it is.
Oh, it's time, Ron, for
2 Yes More.
1 No Way.
All right. And today we're going to be talking about hobbies.
Awesome.
All right.
Outside of teaching.
Yeah, outside of teaching, for sure. All right.
Ron, you started off, man.
Okay, so 2 hobbies. One would definitely be working out, weight training. I definitely like weight training, powerlifting, things like that. As I'm getting older, going a little bit less on the powerlifting side because of injuries and things, but
it's still important. I think it's still important.
Yeah.
As you get older, to keep physical and keep that blood circulating.
Yeah, and just it's about not trying to chase like those heavy weights, that could injure you at some point.
Well, and that's why you're doing it, to not stay injured,
right?
Or
exactly.
I'm sorry, to not get injured.
Yeah. I think one of my other hobbies, and I haven't done this as much, but really love being on a bike.
Okay.
Have done the city to shore bike ride a few times.
50 miles? Is that
150
Woo.
both ways? You know what I mean? So it's 75 down, 75 back.
Okay. Man.
Have done some rides from where we live in, or where I live in Southampton, up to Great Adventure in Jackson and back.
Okay. That's a nice little ride.
Yeah, and nice. It's nice being in the country.
Right.
Like I used to ride when I lived in the city. It's a little more hairy riding in the city. You know what I mean?
A lot more cars.
Yep. Yeah.
And probably pedestrians walking around, not paying attention.
Yeah. So they would be my 2 yes mores. I do love those. And my 1 no way, and I've tried because Susan likes it, dancing. She wanted line dancing and things like that. I have absolutely zero rhythm. Can't keep a beat to save my life.
Even for line dancing.
Even
Ron?
for line dancing. I can't even clap a beat, let alone have my feet move.
Ron, I know the other day you and I sang Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song.
We did.
You seem to be grooving. You were keeping a beat.
I can sing with the best of them, but it's the
moving
the feet, and
man.
You know what it is? It looks like I'm trying too hard. I'm concentrating while I'm dancing. So there's no fun there.
Yeah. Well, now with that being said, will you still dance with her?
I'll still dance.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll make a fool.
Yeah, well, but that's what's fun. I like screwing around like that.
Yeah. And
I don't feel as if I'm a good dancer at all. But no, definitely. That's your 1 no way.
That's my 1 no way.
I can understand.
Yeah, especially like a class. Like she had us go take a class one time.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh,
not fun, but it's an experience, right? Like
It is, but for me again, I felt like I was studying for a major test, like the whole time, counting like 1, 2, 3, like it's just.
I think not that I don't foresee marriage in my future, but if I ever was going to get married and be the guy in the head of the show, I would probably have to take some dance lessons because then all the eyes are on you, and I would definitely feel unconscious.
Yeah, Susan's nephew. Him and his wife's first dance was awesome. She's an Irish step dancer, competitive.
Yep.
And they did their regular first dance, and then in the middle of it broke out into an Irish dance where he was step dancing like
cool.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Dance.
Yep. Yes.
Kind of thing, which was awesome.
That's cool. I've seen shows like that.
Yeah,
and
choreographed
they put on they put some effort into it, and it's a lot of so that's what you should try. That's
definitely
your
the Lord of the Dance.
You go from line dancing to that and see what happens. Well, and then you're only really moving the bottom half of your body. So the top
half. It's a bad half.
Sure, it'd be fun, Ron.
So what do you got for hobbies?
Well, first and foremost,
I know one.
Surfing.
Yep.
I really do enjoy going out there. And
how long have you been surfing?
Well, I bought my first surfboard when I was like 22 years old. Farias Surf and Sport, Long Beach Island, a little bit of a plug. Great family, great place, great people. But But I mean, I've been asking for a surfboard since I've been well in the early middle school years. You know,
Wow,
fifth
okay.
grade, sixth grade, have been always taken to Ocean City Beach and, you know, discovered Long Beach Island when I was 13. And every summer we would go there and,
Nice.
you know, can I get a surfboard? No, you don't need a surfboard. Can I get a surfboard? No. And it was literally the same, you know, not excuse by my parents, but response. We don't live at the beach.
Right.
I'm not spending this amount of money so you can surf for
A week out of the summer.
a week out of a week out of the year. So
Yeah.
it really wasn't in the cards then. I always got the cheap body boards.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know what? That fueled the fire,
Yeah.
and it was something I wanted to do. My second hobby, it's funny, it's not outdoors, and I could pick a lot of outdoor activities, but I really, really like cooking, Ron.
Nice. Oh,
When
yeah.
you know, getting in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying I cook every day and I make these elaborate meals, but there's a couple things that when we are cooking, it's kind of like a family affair. It's Stacy and I, and we're
Right.
both, you know, either making sauce, or, you know, I make a pretty good pico. She makes a really good chili. We
Okay.
like to make soups together.
Nice.
And I really do. I like chopping up vegetables, and
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
be a little OCDC thing coming in there where everything's like the same size, and
right.
you know, that's the challenge.
Little inner Julia Childs kind of
Well,
thing.
you know, like that'll be the next podcast. I do. I love cooking. I love eating. And that's my goal this summer, to really get on a plant-based, healthy diet.
Yeah.
And get in. Since we've moved, I really have been going away from lifting consistently.
Right.
So that's something I'm really excited about. You know, pairing that with good eating, and
yep.
you know, see what happens to have all that time to put that energy into things. I'm looking for good results. But my one no way, man, would be jumping off anything. Like diving, you know, living where we live, there's a lot of those trestle bridges.
Yeah.
And you know, in the summer, you know, it's coming up. This
Yeah.
is what some of the kids are doing, and I remember being petrified. So even, you know, bringing it back to one of my two yeses, surfing. You know, when those waves been out there on days where not big wave surfing, 25 foot,
Right.
but you know, an 8-foot day, a 10-foot day, you're paddling into a wave, and it's a 10-foot drop. You know, that's I have a real I don't like flying. I hate being up so high.
No skydiving for you?
Would never.
Yeah.
And you know, some of my friends have done it. My
Yeah.
one buddy that we surf with has actually done it enough times now. He can free dive. You know,
jump on his own.
Yep, he doesn't have to go tandem, and you know, deathly afraid of something happening and hitting the ground.
Yeah.
So my one no cliff diving, no high diving,
No bungee jumping?
no way.
None of those swings out of a canyon kind of thing?
No, and Stacy's bungee jumped before, and there's like a ride in Wildwood or something like that.
Yeah.
Even zip lining.
Yeah.
No, anything to do with heights.
Zip lining I might give a try. Bungee jumping, man, I'm not trusting that somebody's calculated that whole, like, my weight and the length of the rope.
Well, talk about zip lining. So when we went to Costa Rica, you know, they have zip lines set up and zip line adventures, and you know, I don't know if they have OSHA over there. And so there's like certain things, and things are squeaking and things look rusty. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna get up and go surfing in the morning. So
I got that.
Yeah, that's my one no way.
All right, so let's get into the episode.
All right, cool. We video, great tool.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, especially today, like, what kid doesn't want to be a YouTube star and edit their stuff?
They all follow someone on YouTube,
right.
and you know, down my end of the field, 3rd grade, it's mostly gamers,
right?
You know, but each kid could tell you, oh, this guy talks about, you know, Baldi's Basics is a game that they're really talking about now, and I saw a bunch of websites about.
Or I mean, how many kids have? There are ones that just a kid playing with toys, right? Like,
true,
so
right?
You can play with toys.
Well, and it's not just video editing, because what did they just add?
They just added, you can download audio.
Yeah,
right?
and you can podcast.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think that's awesome for these kids to have that opportunity.
Yeah, or I would think, I mean, you know, we talk about podcasting, but I mean, they can record music, right? I mean, you know, WeVideo even has some of those background songs where it's not lyrics, it's just instrumental. You create your own song to that.
Ron, I think the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You know, and I think what we both like about it is, one of the things is it's cloud-based, right? So no matter where you are, you can log into your WeVideo account and you have access to your projects.
And logging in can be free accounts, or logging in could be paid subscriptions where you would get a little bit more, but I see that's down
and
on the list.
Even the free accounts. I mean, 5 minutes of video a month, that's enough for a little project for a classroom.
Something you can do, and then guess what? You delete it.
Right.
Right. You,
Yep.
you export it. You delete all your info and
Yep.
stuff, or your what's that
Your-
going to be?
Your video,
Yeah.
all your video
Yep.
clips and everything. Yeah. And the other thing is for us, compatible with Chromebooks.
Which is going to be lovely next year.
Right. Especially for you. You're not used to the Chromebooks yet.
Ron, I can't wait to see what they can do, especially with our science program, with
Right.
weather reports, pushes and pulls. Like there's going to be so much
Wow,
these
yeah,
kids
yeah.
are going to be able to do.
Even social studies, right? Like, I mean, especially with a green screen, putting yourself.
Ron, I never even thought about, I'm so hyper focused now on the science.
Right.
I didn't even think about social studies. Or now even, I think they would be able with what we're doing in writing,
Right.
to be able to start to just bring in
create
different
a video
ideas
about what you wrote. You know what I mean?
We talked about commercials.
Right.
We
a commercial.
have a play coming up, and it'll. Oh man, I can't wait. I actually asked in our summative yesterday if we could get a classroom subscription.
Right.
And Mrs. Bertoulis was all into it because
Yep.
we are going to be incorporating a lot more technology next year. And she said, "Well, how much would a class subscription cost? I wonder if we could get it cheaper if more teachers wanted to jump in on it." So
again, it'd be awesome as a district to get a subscription.
Ron, I'm jumping in full force next year with WeVideo and starting from the very beginning. That's going to be part of the classroom routines. This is how you use WeVideo.
Right.
This is how you get the access, and I think. Well, you know what? I won't even have to worry about getting video to them because with the Chromebooks,
they can record their own video right to their Chromebook and upload it right to WeVideo. I mean, honestly, just like we're doing here,
right?
You can record straight to WeVideo.
Well, and
from your Chromebook,
I'm telling you, it's going to be beautiful with science, social studies, reading, book reviews. And I know we talked about Flipgrid, but now I'm thinking in the beginning of the year, part of our classroom routines. This is how you use Google Sites or Adobe. If I get a little more familiar with it over the summer. This is how you use this to create a website. This is how you use this to create a video. This is how you would insert this video into this website. And now, I mean, we talked about in an earlier show, book reports, days of the past.
Right. But now you
can
kind of create a trailer for your book, like a movie trailer.
Oh, most definitely.
Right. And that's, another nice thing with this. You can start to app smash. So you take your video that you did in WeVideo, and instead of recording a video in Flipgrid, you upload your WeVideo. And now other students can comment on your video.
Most definitely. Definitely. One of the reasons why I want that paid account is because of the green screen capabilities.
Absolutely. And I think VoiceOver comes with paid accounts.
Yep.
What I mean?
You're right.
So like having that access to do VoiceOver, screencasting. So, I mean, you can have them, somebody who's maybe an expert in your class in Google Slides, have them create a video of how to do something in Google Slides that you post to Flipgrid that everybody else can watch if they need to figure something out.
Talk about app smashing.
Right?
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, and you can, with WeVideo and the paid accounts, you can have students collaborate where they can both be working on one project. Now, they can't both be editing at the same time.
Okay.
But they can take turns editing back and forth the same video.
Even better.
Right, so now you're getting collaboration in there. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And, with that paid account, you get all that B-roll footage, right? All those background images.
Well, when we were making the videos for the Alien Design Thinking Project,
right?
I mean, how awesome was it?
Yeah.
How awesome was, type in their alien backgrounds for the green screen, aliens specifically, for the characters we were using. It was all right there.
Sound effects. I mean, it's great. And the other thing I was thinking is, a great creative thing that a lot of the students haven't had exposure to, and even honestly, I haven't had exposure to, but will be fun to do, old time radio show.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So they have to do an audio recording. Now you have to make the sound effects of the person,
right,
walking down the hallway or knocking on the door or
the horse chasing the bank robber. Who knows?
The two coconuts banging together to make the horse sounds, or but it again, the creativity that they have to think about.
And you figure these are just ideas you and I are thinking on the fly.
Yeah.
Now we have a class of 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds who aren't so closed off in their thinking. I think the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and I the other thing I like, and I haven't used so much because I think the third grade students can handle it, but even down to second and maybe even kindergarten, they have two different modes of editing. So there is the timeline mode, which is the more technical, where you can add, multiple video clips,
Okay, yep.
right, and multiple soundtracks. And then there's a storyboard mode, and that is just more simplified.
Okay.
There's one track for video, one track for audio, and it's just a very simplified version. But again, getting those younger students involved, that's a way to do it.
Just comfortable in playing.
Yeah.
Just comfortable in
and
playing.
Maybe that's something you even start with at the beginning of next year with third graders, if or maybe a teacher who's not so adept to WeVideo can start with.
And I think that's it, because we did have a student play around with WeVideo, and
Right.
he made the video on quad safety.
Right.
And
he green screened.
He had his mom take video on her phone at home, drop it into his drive.
Right.
He ended up coming to school and working on this video, and there were failures. I did find for him a YouTube video to watch.
Okay.
But he watched the video,
yeah,
because I didn't necessarily know how to green
Right.
screen, and he wanted to do it. And I said, look, I think that's awesome, but I can't help you.
Right.
I'll find a video for you. You put the time in, and they had stock footage, because you were, you had all those. We had a couple accounts, so you're like, let's give it to him. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he ran with it, and he's got those videos. And during our Spark time, can I have the camera?
Right.
Can I have someone help me? Is the green screen set up?
Yep.
So.
And next year I'm pushing for the wall outside my
our hallways are getting painted,
right.
So we're not even going to have to run around and put a green screen up.
Exactly.
I will say though, if they're going to be doing the recording off a camera, they should have a tripod.
Yes.
The
shaky hands, man.
The tripod is very helpful.
Yeah.
Now, if they're recording on the Chromebook, I guess that's not necessarily an issue.
What I do is, you're still going to shake, but I give them like one of my carts.
Oh, okay.
And then they can just sit it on the cart, and they can, and that's the thing, like, where this green screen is going to be outside, knock on my door, grab a cart, use your Chromebook to film.
Yeah.
Makes it easy. The other thing is, and I've dabbled in it a little bit, but if you go up to the help section of WeVideo, there's educator resources. There's ideas for projects. There's, you can find what you need to right there.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because John Klein at Twitter, is an ambassador, I guess.
I think he's one of the
a student or a teacher resources consultant. I forget what his title is,
right.
But he's associated with WeVideo and the educational side of it.
Yep.
And the things he puts out there that the kids are doing.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Not even using green screen, right?
Just a cardboard or construction paper.
What you guys did on the morning announcements. Yep. I mean, it's great, and it's creativity, and it's fostering those skills that we want the kids to be able to have and be familiar and comfortable with.
And it's just, again, like, we're, as you're saying something, I'm thinking of an idea. How's that for a great beginning of the year kind of activity? Have the student interview themselves.
Oh, Ron.
Right?
Boom.
So they're holding the piece of paper that's green.
Right.
They ask that piece of paper a question. They then fill in the answer. And again, start off simple. One question, one answer.
Well,
and then you can show them, put them on Flipgrid.
Our school, we start Tuesday.
Right.
So starting on Tuesday, depending on when, if our Chromebooks come in, that's our first.
Your first few days. Right?
I mean, and that's what's scary. We don't know how many days,
right.
So I'll plan accordingly. But the best thing, I think next year is going to be my 13th year. And I have a general idea of day one things to do, day two, to take me through the week. And I put those anecdotal notes. Everything always pushes off, like I never get done everything in day one. And I mean, heck, if the kids are into it, then you can spend all day on it. But there's also comes to a point when kids get frustrated, teachers get frustrated.
Yeah.
But Ron, man, that's woo.
Right. One question about yourself, what you answer yourself, and then you post it in Flipgrid, and you have that Flipgrid available for the parents when they come in for back to school night. Right. And then, you're seeing your own child interviewing himself in a green screen. Like, I mean,
and it's only
third grade,
and it's only September.
Right.
And it's only September. So to get it then, and maybe not everyone will get it, but maybe a few kids will. Yeah. And then what do you have? Now you have a class expert.
Absolutely.
You need help with WeVideo? Go see this
guy.
And
that class expert, I think that's one of the biggest things when you're doing some of these new things or creative things, having that class expert and being okay as a teacher to say, you know what? I don't know this.
Right.
And I'm not going to be the expert in this. You got to give yourself that time.
Well, that's learning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's learning.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this yet.
Right.
But
yeah.
you know, if you figure it out and you teach it to me, and that's how I learned how to use the
Right.
green screen, and it's great because I was taught by a 9-year-old,
Right.
and next year I plan on teaching that to 8-year-olds.
Right.
So it's coming full circle. And I will give him credit. You know, like I'll explain to the kids, yo, if
Yeah.
you see this guy,
Right.
let him know, hey,
Right.
I'm in WeVideo, I'm working on this, and it's up on my website. Check this out.
Right. Yeah. You know, and like you were saying earlier, I mean, it's not just for students to do stuff, right? I mean,
right. Well, what do we use it for, Ron? I mean, you know, we talk about that design thinking. How
Absolutely.
do you get kids to feel empathy for something?
well, and to even just get excited about the whole project, right? Like you're Johnny by the Sea.
Johnny by the Sea, and not even that, not even me getting into it, just, you know, we make these characters.
Right.
And what are they? They're pulled out of thin air. Ron, to see these kids intently following along,
Right.
taking notes,
Yep.
taking
About
notes
the character.
about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
characters. Okay, this is what he likes. This is what I see.
Yep.
I mean, that was heavy. I was
Yeah.
walking around like, I can't believe it, because when we're making it, I'm like, this is so silly. Are the kids even going
Right,
to
are they
get into
gonna
it?
get
Like,
into it? Yeah.
you know, this character is totally a mesh of my son and his buddy. This character is totally a mesh of a character I saw on you know, one of the History Channel shows about Alaska, the Last Frontier,
Right,
about the
right.
you know, some bush, you know. But the kids are like, oh, Mr. DePaulo, this is for alien number 2 because alien number 2 does
Like
this,
or has this.
this
yeah.
is for the alien's wife. It's a pond on the back of the thing, so she can go out there. And I'm like, wow, they took into it. You know what they gained? They gained empathy.
Right.
Right. They
Yep.
they felt something for someone, and
Yeah.
and at 8 years old, maybe it should be a teddy bear, maybe it should be an alien. But you foster that,
Hey, and that's it.
and WeVideo was a huge source in that. And you know,
Absolutely.
we were very lucky to, you know, we're doing this with school. The school has
Right, to
paid
have the
accounts,
accounts.
so we did have, you know, all the bells and whistles, but we use the bells and whistles, and like
Right.
you were saying, like, you know, I have to go around, and some of these kids, one of the characters was Johnny by the Sea,
Right.
played by myself in a mustache, and you know, I'm signing yearbooks, Johnny by the Sea. You know, Mrs. DeLucia's class wanted a guest appearance from Johnny by the Sea. So, you know, it's stuff like that. It's silly, it's fun, but the kids are getting it, you know, and they're getting excited about it.
And the kids are engaged, right? I mean, if they are looking for Johnny by the Sea, when Johnny by the Sea comes on to give them a message about a project that they're working on, they're
listening.
engaged.
They're listening,
Yep.
Ron. Like they're hanging on every word.
And they see you're not afraid to be silly, so they can be creative.
Right.
And they have you're opening it up for them to kind of be silly and creative. And sometimes out of that silliness come some great ideas.
Well, you know, it goes back to some of our other episodes. Don't show a movie,
Right.
You know, and the whole 3rd grade team said we have that full last week of school.
Let's do
we
something.
see you doing something with design thinking. The
Yep.
fairy tale project was so much fun. You should design a week-long episode, you know, or a week-long project. And it was cool because we never got to it this year, but the end of the project culminated with using WeVideo to create a video for the product you made. And then, you know, you have to sell it to the aliens,
Right,
and
yep.
and the only way they're going to be able to see it is if you put it in a website. So, you know, like it was all those ideas, and Ron, we had lesson plans for it. And because you have to use technology, right?
Absolutely,
you have to use technology, or you should be using technology. There's those technology standards.
Absolutely.
WeVideo helps you get those.
Yep. So just, I mean, absolutely great tool, whether it's a paid account, whether, you know, or not.
Students or teachers.
Again, if you can get a paid account, great. But if not, just get them
playing.
them working in it.
Get them using.
Yep. So I guess that'll wrap up our WeVideo episode. I'm already fired up. It's we're recording this at the last day of school for June 2019. You know, the episode's going to come out in September, but I'm fired up already thinking of ideas for how am I going to more incorporate WeVideo, especially if we get district-wide account.
Well, and Ron, like, I'm going home today. We just had episode 5 released on Monday, and I'm a little lagging on getting the videos up because now I want to get in, you know, the surf video intro.
Right,
I want to get into that, you know, that music, because as opposed to just having a video up there, I want to start to make it a little bit better for our YouTube channel, Teacher Nerds.
With a Z.
With a Z. So, you know, it's a great, and you know what, I figured the more I play around with it, the more I use it over the summer,
the better you get, the better you can help the kids.
Most definitely, and the better their projects are going to be.
And again, that beginning of the year, it's one of those things. Take the time to teach it in the beginning of the year, just like we were talking about last episode or 2 episodes ago with whole brain thinking,
Right.
or whole brain teaching.
Right.
It's going to pay dividends with the creations they're going to have at the end
By
of the
the end
year.
of the year, it's 10 months to use it and grow with it, and their projects will get better. What we've been doing with it has been getting better and better every time, because we're not afraid to try things.
I was just, and again, ideas just shooting into my head. What about math? You guys do multiplication?
Oh,
do a video about multiplication. John has 3 friends.
Oh, and then pull up that green screen and have the three friends there. Right? Each friend has 2 lollipops. Next, Ron.
So you're going to get a kid who might not be engaged because it's math, but now that you're adding the Wii video aspect, they may be more apt to decide, I got to understand my math facts in order to create this video.
So how long? What are we running here? How many minutes?
We're at 26 minutes.
Okay, now. 26 minutes, and we're talking about bringing math ideas in there.
Social studies,
right? Science, writing. Did we say anything about reading? Yeah, book stuff. Book stuff. Reading
book
and
reviews,
books. Yeah, definitely.
Book trailers, like a movie trailer, but for a book, right?
Ron?
And again, you could have that. You could have a computer set up at your class library with a list of different reviews for different books on a website. Kids can click on it, see a review for this book. It's crazy what you can come up with and how you can pull this into almost every aspect. Think about social studies.
So
put yourself in Egypt, talking about the pyramids.
So I think we should revisit Wii video again sometime in the middle of the year and say, look, this is what we've already come up with. This is what the kids. These are some of the kids' ideas.
Yep.
These were our ideas. This is what we did with it. Now this is what we saw the kids do with it. And like you were saying before we started on, if Teacher Nerds is looking to possibly be at Texpo, and possibly using Wii video in a presentation, awesome. Just to say, hey, this is awesome. There's a lot of cool things out there, but this is top notch.
Yep. All right.
So, another episode.
Yeah, another episode in. Again, I'm Ron Nober.
I'm Joe DiPaolo.
We are
Teacher Nerds with a Z.
All right. Visit us at teachernerds.com. Check us out on Twitter at Teacher Nerds. And again, that's all Teacher Nerds with a Z. And check us out on YouTube at Teacher Nerds. All with a Z. All right. Goodbye.